Hello again, 49ers faithful. Welcome to Johnny Dell's Football Academy, the channel that's all about 49ers football. We're going to start off our weekly sessions of game film review. What we're going to do is over the next 16 games, each week we'll take a look back at the game that happened the previous week, coach's film, and try and answer the questions, why did the game turn out the way it did? We're coming off a great win. It's always easier to watch film when your team wins. Watching losing football is always, well, hard. This week we had a great win against a team that I think is going to be pretty competitive through the year. I don't know how well their record's going to turn out, but I do believe that Tampa Bay is going to be somewhat competitive this year. They got a good defensive line, and their offense is supposed to be pretty explosive. We had a really good defensive performance yesterday, and I want to highlight that first because I think that we can all agree on was the key to the victory. And it really all started with the defensive line and everything up front. We've invested heavily into the defensive line in the past few years, and it was amazing to see that this investment is finally starting to pay off. So here we're going to start out and just look at this very first play. This is the first play of the game from scrimmage. What I want to talk about here is that Tampa Bay, they're going to run a play that I haven't seen this a whole lot from this personnel and in this way. What this is, it's basically like a tight end trap. I've seen these with tackles, but not very often with tight ends. What they're going to do is that this tight end here, he's going to kick out, and he's going to try and kick out Armstead. This tight end's going to loop underneath and try and take on Quan Alexander as the linebacker. And then they're going to take this wide receiver who is just motioned across the field, and he's going to come around and try and loop up into the hole and take on the first guy he sees. And then they're going to try and double team Buckner right here. Now, this is also a game where we've gone away from our traditional under defense that we'd seen the last couple of years, and we're going to use this wide nine where we have our defensive ends really wide. You can really see D Ford on the weak side is very wide. Armstead is outside the frame of this second tight end. That's a very wide split, and so it leaves these big gaps in between the inside guys and the nine techniques. And so it's really important that these linebackers that are in those gaps fill the hole very quickly. And what we're going to see is that happens exactly, but also just look at how the rest of the defense is going to play this. So here from the snap, you see Buckner comes in, he takes on the double team, splits it, and takes it on very well, holds his ground. This, I will say, Quan Alexander does a fantastic job here as a linebacker. His reaction time is incredible. He sees the hole and he fills the hole. That's what you tell linebackers to do. See the hole, fill the hole. And he does it quickly, comes in to where the tight end can't even get up to him. He gets blown up and also then takes out the wide receiver who's trying to come around and lead up. The other thing here is look at Armstead. He's going to use a long arm technique. He's going to take on the inside tight end, and then he's going to collapse the lane. What I do like is Jaquiski Tart here is he sees that there's an opening in here, and he stays disciplined. Maybe 2 years ago, the Tart of 2 years ago was going to try and come in here and fill and give up the outside. He doesn't do that. He maintains his outside leverage and his outside contain responsibility. And you see Buckner has taken both these guys. What that's going to allow Fred Warner to do is come in and scrape and fill this hole. So as this play develops, you see now Quan Alexander has taken on two blockers. Fred Warner's stepped up, and the running back, he's going to look to bounce outside, but he sees he can't go outside. He's got to go up in the hole. Fred Warner has now taken on one of the linemen, and what I love here is Greenlaw comes around. He scrapes and fills. That's what you teach your linebackers to do. Scrapes and fills, takes on the running back. That's exactly how you want the defense to play this kind of thing, is that everybody along the defensive front does their job perfectly. How many times have we heard New England talk about just do your job? Everybody did their job. That's a great result there. First play of the game. That already looks light years ahead of where we were 2 years ago. So now we're going to jump to the second play, and what's going to happen here is we'll bring up our little drawing board, is that Tampa Bay is going to try and run an inside zone. They're going to try and go off the right tackle to the weak side, again attacking this big bubble is what we usually call it in the nine technique. Here we compress the strong side, so we don't go nine technique with Armstead. We have Ford over here in a nine technique. Armstead is not. So what they're trying to attack this bubble, and so they're going to take the running back this way, and then everybody's just going to go step, kick out, and This lineman here is going to try and help and then get up to the second level, and they're going to try and get the running back in. This lineman's going to try and hit Buckner and then get to the second level himself. He's supposed to scoop Buckner. That's how this is supposed to look. By the look of it, Tampa Bay has a good look here. But let's watch how this plays out. From the start, here, this is DJ Jones right here. He does a great job taking on a double team and holding up the lineman. See, this lineman wants to get onto Quan Alexander, and DJ Jones won't let him. That's fantastic right there. D Ford, he takes an outside release and he sets the edge. He does not allow the linebacker out. That's exactly what you want. Quan Alexander sitting in the hole, that's perfect. The center gets off Buckner and tries to go up. Buckner has taken a step to the side, and it confuses this tackle. He ends up in no man's land and doesn't block anybody. And what ends up is Buckner ends up one-on-one with the running back, and he's athletic enough to make a play. And so again, this is exactly what you want to see. Look at DJ Jones here. This is something that's not going to show up on the stat sheet, but that is perfect line play where he's going to take on the double team, and he's taking on the guard. The defensive linemen, when they're young in their career, will try and split these, or they'll take on the center, but they don't realize that this guard is getting up to a linebacker. This is a guy who gets it. He sees that he's going to take on the guard, keep him off the linebacker, so it fills the hole. So, because if this running back wants to cut out, he can't go. There's nowhere he can go. There's a linebacker right here. That allows Buckner to come on the backside pursuit and stuff the play. It's a 1-yard gain. That's exactly what we want to see from our defensive line. This next play, what they're going to try and do is they're going to run an off-tackle dive play. So they've run man, they've run zone. Now they're coming back to man. What this is, they're just going to double team down and try and move. This is Buckner. They're going to try and kick him out. The tight end is going to try and kick out Armstead, and this receiver is going to come up and try and seal off our linebacker. Or that's Jaquaski Tart, excuse me. We're in a nickel package here. We're in this wide 9. Again, they're trying to attack the bubble. That's where you are more susceptible in this wide 9. And so then they're going to attack the point right in between the tight end and the tackle. And what we're going to run is something called a scrape exchange. Let me move some things here real quick. And so what this is our end is going to actually come inside. Let's make that red. And Tart is going to come outside. So the fill defender, what he does is he scrapes over the top and he exchanges responsibility with the D end. And this is they execute this perfectly, and this is what blows up the play. So let's watch this here. You see from the beginning, now here's the scrape exchange. The inside defender scrapes over and exchanges responsibilities with the D end, who comes inside. Armstead comes inside. The tight end wasn't ready for it. He crosses the face of the tight end. He's supposed to be kicking out, and now Armstead's in the hole, and he just easily shrugs off the tight end. I mean, that's no win for any team to have a tight end on Eric Armstead. And Tart maintains his outside contain, and Armstead's just right there and blows the run up for 0 gain. This was a run for 0 yards. Sometimes we can wonder, why in the world would Eric Armstead be playing defensive end in our nickel package? Well, this is why. Because you can put him out there and he's going to blow up a run play, and you still have D Ford on the other side, so you're still going to be able to get pressure and Buckner inside. So again, this is exactly what you want to see from your defensive line. Now here's another play, and they're going to try this time to run an off-tackle zone. So here's Bosa's in the game. We have Ronald Blair. We're in the wide 9 again. They're going to attack the weak side, and what they're going to do is that they're just going to come and they're going to try and come inside the bubble again. Inside the 9 technique, they're going to kick out with the tackle. He's going to try and hit and then go up to the second level on the linebacker, and then he's going to scoop block, and he's going to try and scoop block here, and this center is going to help, and he's going to first attack the 1 technique and then try and get up to the second level with the linebacker. You have the running back attacks. There again, the idea with this wide 9 is you're going to keep everything inside the tackles. And so here Tampa Bay is trying to take advantage of that and run an inside zone. But what we're going to see here is this is, again, a no-name guy, DJ Jones is going to play this perfectly. And so here, DJ Jones gets off the ball and he explodes through these two linemen, blows up both of them. It's one thing to just slip by your guys, it's another thing to blow through your guys. And because he's so violent getting through, it blows up the play in the backfield. It's disrupted. The running back has nowhere to go. He has to cut off immediately. Armstead delays the center long enough, or I guess that's the guard, excuse me, and the tackle, and he holds him here, and that just allows Tart to fill in his primary responsibility, and it's a tackle. Ronald Blair keeps his outside contained. Everybody gets in on the play, and there it is. You have what I love here is this isn't something that's going to show up, but you have Nick Bosa over here. Look at the guy fight. He fights, he keeps going through, and he ends up in on the tackle. That's a motor you can't teach, and you know what? That's one of the reasons why we made him such a high draft pick this year. That's what you love to see, is that even on a running play that he doesn't have to get in on, he's fighting, he's got that motor. It's great. And that's just great D-line play. That's what you love to see. This is the stuff that's exciting, is that they're trying to attack our weakness and they can't. So that's some stuff with the run game. Let's look a little bit at a passing play here. Kind of end this episode. We'll cover more in the passing game later. This is just a simple 4-man rush. Again, we're in the wide 9. We're going to stack the left side of the line where the running back is. The idea here is that we're going to make them shift the line this way or keep a running back in, or else D Ford's going to have a ton of room over here. D Ford in here is what we would consider the Leo. And all you're going to have is Bosa come up, Ford come up, Buckner, and Armstead. And this is a 4-man rush, and just kind of watch what happens here. This is the first, should have been an interception play of the game. So here, one thing, look at Buckner just blow up the guard. He starts bull rushing him, immediately pushes him back. What I love here is how Bosa and Ford are on the same page. What you want to see is you want to have defensive linemen taking not the same path to the quarterback, if that makes sense. You want one deeper and one more shallow on your DNs, so that you're not in a complete scissors, that the idea is you're going to give the quarterback nowhere to run, that nowhere in here is he going to be able to step up, because if he steps up, he's into one D end. If he goes back, he's into another. If he goes all the way up, he's going to be into the defensive lineman up front. And so here, he feels the pressure from Ford and Bosa. So you see Bosa's deeper, Ford's a little more shallow, and he tries to step up, and Buckner has pushed this guard far enough back to where on the broadcast you couldn't really see what happened, but here you'll see he actually steps on his guard's foot, and this is what makes him fall down while he throws. And we should have had an interception. That's just heartbreaking. But hey, we had several more in the game, so that's all right. But here you see this is just causing just a lot of traffic and mess and disruption around the quarterback. He does not have a nice pocket. This was on 3rd and 12. This is what we've been wanting to see for so long, is, and this is what Belichick talked about when he said that sometimes the stats will say that pressures will be more effective than sacks, because here, if we catch this, that's better than a sack. But, either way, it turns out the same way as a sack, because it ends a drive. And that was just the beginning of what happened in this game. So we'll thank you for watching in and tuning the channel. That was a bad way to put that, but I'll just move on. Thank you for watching. If you want to interact, I'll be at 49erswebzone.com in the fan forum on the film study sub forum, and you can interact and ask questions about that. If you'd like to support the channel, I will have a link to the Patreon in here. Thank you very much, and look forward for more videos.